We're going to talk about Justin Simmons because Justin Simmons has gone on record as saying that he's going to be a little more picky in selecting his team this year because he believes that he has, only a few more opportunities to win that championship, but he wants to make sure he's on the squad to compete for that championship. So I will start with you, Kevin, because you had the safeties way down low on your list. Do you think that the acquisition do you think the acquisition of Justin Simmons would change your rankings a little bit if you were to become a Baltimore Raven?
Yes, it would. It 100% would. If Ardarius was healthy, they would have been my number 3. Justin Simmons would. I think that's like, we talked about Jaire as like the final infinity stone, like, oh, he's the final piece. But I truly do think depth-wise, there are a couple spots you can look at, like inside linebacker, a depth guard wouldn't hurt you. But I truly think that someone to just a veteran option there in that safety room. It's not that I don't believe in a Bo Braid. It's not that I don't believe in a Sanusi Kane to step up and help. And plus, I think you do have the options at corner to where you don't necessarily have to play your third safety a bunch if you don't want to. Like, you could throw a Awuzie out there or TJ Tampa out there in certain looks and not have to worry about, oh, is this second inside linebacker next to Roquan going to figure it out? Or is this third safety next to Hamilton and Malaki going to figure it out? But I just look back to last year and how many options they went through, right? It's not about Bo Braid and Sanusi Kane. It's about having the option in case those guys don't pan out for you. Because I don't want them back in the same situation as last year where, Marcus Williams was supposed to have this great year last year. And Eddie Jackson was supposed to be this veteran stabilizer for them. And we all know, guys, that was the complete opposite of what ended up happening. And on top of that, Brandon Stevens was a lot worse than he was in 2023. So all depth is good depth, as Ozzie Newsome has said, and we've all said it too. You can never have enough corners. I think that extends to all positions. You can never have enough of anything. And so to me, if they added a depth piece, and it doesn't have to be Simmons in particular, I think he's the best option out there. But if it's a Julian Blackmon or someone else, it gives you the option in case something doesn't work, where right now, if it doesn't work, you're running a little thin on what you can do unless you want to try to move Jalen Lumber-Davis over and see if that works. If that's just a training camp thing, who knows? But I think another depth piece, that final depth piece at safety, will go a long way for that group.
You talk about depth, and I appreciate it. I think the one thing that makes it tough is special teams. And so, is Simmons going to be that guy that can come in and play special teams? And he is a guy that, was his 9th or 10th year in the league coming up if he's, so happens to sign.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that's a challenge. Whereas you got, Bo Braid and Sanusi Kane, young legs, fresh legs, special teams guys. And so I think from a depth aspect of things and salary cap, we still got to figure out, what that looks like and what money you have to sign him and agree upon it. His criteria is I want to go to a team that, is a contender. And certainly if we're talking Super Bowl or bust, the Ravens fit that criteria. But I think the money has to be right. And then I also think, from a bigger picture standpoint, the way in which you have those young players, Malaki Starks, like Kyle Hamilton did his rookie year, played a ton of special teams while starting. I think that is my only reservation with Simmons joining the squad.
I gotta agree with you. I was definitely on board the Justin Simmons train. I've been on board the Justin Simmons train for a little bit now, but we always forget about special teams. And special teams, we know, is very important. It could be the difference between winning and losing. And we laugh when we talk about it, but John Harbaugh is a special teams guy, and he's going to make sure that the guys he have here taking up roster spots can play special teams. And I'm not sure if Justin Simmons has that in his mind. Obviously, we will like the depth, with Justin Simmons because we just witnessed a horrific injury with Ardarius Washington's Achilles going out. Hopefully he comes back this season. But even if he does, he's not going to be the same player. So I kind of agree with you, Q. I don't know if it's such a good idea. But, I want to be rich. We said the same thing about Jaire Alexander coming in. I would love to be rich in that position. So, I would not be mad at it, but I definitely see it from a roster standpoint where you're coming from.
Okay, what if it was a guy that could play special teams? What if it's a vet that you could throw out there on special teams? Would that change? Like, let's not Justin Simmons, let's put him to the side. What if it's somebody that's maybe a little younger, has that ability, can come in, and you still feel maybe a little more confident in that guy over, like, I don't know. I don't know if Quandre Diggs at this point, he's 32, so I'm not sure he would. There are a couple others out there as well. But Q, if it's a guy that could play special teams, is that something you're more on board with? Or are you just fully on the, you know what, Bo Braden and Snoozy Kane are those guys and you trust them?
I'm a Bo Braid, Snoozy Kane, guy, but we also know the EDC Ozzie Newsome mantra that the roster is never really finished until the 47 active day roster comes about and you see what you really have opening weekend. So I'm not opposed to bringing in a guy if you feel during training camp, those other guys are not going to be as impactful from a special team standpoint because, I think the salary cap and the structure, we can say we want to sign everybody, but it is one of those scenarios where you got to have money in case somebody gets hurt. And yeah, that's where the Lamar Jackson extension comes in because then you kind of know what you have and you can kind of play with the numbers, if you will. Just got Malaki Starks, man. The dude is young. I get it. I understand. But he's your first rounder, similar to Nate Wiggins. When you got a first rounder like that, you're expecting him to go in and play right away. And our Darius Washington was awesome. No question about it. I mean, he flipped the whole script when it came to where they were to how they finished up. And we, clearly saw his impact in the Houston game. And, Beyonce was sitting up there like, oh, my goodness, where all the single ladies at? Like, boy, we need to put a ring on him because, like, his play was just so amazing. But, again, this is a deep roster. We're talking about, rush in an outside linebacker and that being the most intriguing position, you know, 5 guys, like, where the 6th guy coming from? So, boy, this is good. This is good conversation, good debate, and good problems to have if you're the Ravens.
Yeah, hard to disagree with you on that. We are definitely trying to be the rich that's getting richer, obviously. But I tend to agree with you. Let's give Bo Brace and Newsy Kane a chance, and it looks like based on what we've seen activity-wise in free agency, that's the route that the Ravens are taking, at least for now, as we get started with training camp.